Okay, so I think everyone now is back again. Yes, everyone? Okay, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Perfect. So let's go back to our slides.
Okay.
So, do you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So reviewing and correcting the assignments. I have selected or I have selected some assignments and we are going to work on them. Okay. Let me see the first assignment. Can you see this one? No?
No.
Can you see now?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we see.
Yes.
Good. So who's this assignment? Who's this assignment?
Najwa.
Najwa.
Najwa, good.
Mhm.
Yes, so let's start with Najwa's assignment and we are going to discuss, analyze and reflect on her last task number 3. So, Najwa, is Najwa
Yes,
with us?
yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
So it's
yeah.
very interesting for the lesson is about cinema, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Good. And you start with building interest. That's
Yes.
perfect. Starting with music, with a song.
Yes, which includes the cinema, like the word cinema.
So now what about the grammar structure the students should learn? About what?
In the grammar I included in my lesson, or what?
Yeah.
I was wrong. Like I
No, just
included
tell us
articles.
what is the lesson about grammar?
It was in my case it was about articles, but you
Good.
said it's not.
Good.
Yeah.
What about reading the text? The topic of the text?
It's what do we call it? The text.
Yes. Let's go back to the text. Yeah, it's about Angelina.
About Angelina Jolie, yes.
Good. Okay.
Yes, this one.
Yeah, perfect. So let's start. And I want you to comment. Yeah, comment on her lesson. And I want you to comment. Yes. Yes. Good. So Najwa, she started with a song, and it's a very good choice because students love listening to music. So motivating them, you can start with a song. That's good. Yes, Najwa, do you know the song very well?
Just Google it and I found it.
So can you sing it with your students? Can you sing?
I can't remember the rhythm, but it's okay. I can improve.
Yes. Okay, can you?
Okay, so I could watch you for a lifetime. You're my favorite movie. 1,000 endings. I can't remember the rhythm.
Okay, but that sounds interesting. Okay. That sounds interesting. So it's from the very beginning, it's a good choice to start with a song to build interest. That's cool. Okay. And the song has got some words about cinema. Now let's see the second. The second part of the lesson is vocabulary about cinema. Good. Now, what about the level? What's the level?
It's maybe intermediate.
Intermediate. Good. Yes. So now this is my question to all of you. Do you think that intermediate students know, or do you think that students, I mean intermediate students, don't know the word actor? The question is to all of you.
You know it, I think.
They know it.
Okay, good. So yes, Najwa, here there is a problem of complexity of your lesson. It's somehow vocabulary, some words are easy. So I think there is no need to teach them what doing by actor or actress.
Yes.
You see my point?
Yes, maybe this is for beginners more than intermediate.
Sorry?
Maybe this vocabulary, it's for beginners more than
Yes.
intermediate.
Very good, because the actor, cameraman, cinema, movie, all students know these words. They are very common words, you see. So instead, that's why we say, when we teach vocabulary, we teach some words that students don't know. So here you can, in my point of view, it would be better to choose other words instead of actor or actress, cinema and movie, okay?
Yeah.
So here students find it very easy because they already know about these words. Maybe
Yeah.
projectionist is a good term to teach. Somehow Oscar Prize, yeah, good. Okay. Any comments again
Yes.
about others? Any comments you can say?
Can
Miriam?
I say something?
Yes, Miriam.
I think that if only she included the vocabulary that is in the text, like there is some difficult words for intermediate there.
Yes, good. That's interesting. Yeah, but here we have, Miriam, we are talking about adaptation. You have got the
Okay.
text and you have got many parts of the lesson. There is the text, reading, there is grammar, there is vocabulary, there is listening, etc. Now here the job of Najwa is teaching vocabulary. You see my point?
Okay. Yes.
So
Okay.
she's teaching vocabulary, and she selected 6 keywords which she thinks are important for students to learn. But we don't think that students are going to learn about actor because they already
Yeah.
know about it, you see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I agree with both of you. If you are teaching beginners, they would be very good to use actor, cinema, movie. But with intermediate levels, I don't think so. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Just
Now, yes, Yusuf.
for this activity, where she presented the vocabulary words. Don't you think that we have to make it like kind of an exercise matching, and we let students get the right answers without telling them from the very beginning these are the words for those images?
Good, Yusuf. Yeah, this is a suggestion. There are many suggestions. There are many ways of presenting grammar. You can, from the very beginning, okay, using pictures. And as you said, you can use matching exercise. You give them the words and you have to match with the right pictures. Okay, so there are many ways. And all the time I say it depends on the situation in which you are teaching. It depends on the type of the lesson, and it depends on your learners' levels and their learning styles. Okay, good. Now, what we liked about this activity, it's very important. There are pictures and very interesting pictures. So here we are also motivating students. Students will love the pictures. And it's the job of the teacher is to motivate. How can you motivate? Using pictures. So there is something good about this task, vocabulary. Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
And also the number of words that she will be teaching is adequate, is enough.
Good. That's interesting. Now, I have another question. If you are teaching intermediate students, do you think 6 words are enough, or maybe less, or maybe more? Or it depends on the level of the intermediate student?
I think there should be more words for intermediate students.
So what do you think? Yeah, So
For beginners, like only 10 or less.
So again, when we talk about levels, you have to take into account the number of words. With beginners, 5, 7, maximum 10 words are enough, okay, for them to learn. With intermediate, again, 6, yeah, sounds good. But 7, 10 to 12 maybe also good, but it depends on the level of students. You see my point? I'm not saying that 6 words are not good for intermediate, but I'm just trying to guide you to ask questions when you are preparing for vocabulary. I'm not all the time choose 6 words, but it depends on the level of my students. It depends on the type of the lesson. You see my point? Yes, Miriam?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Now, Najwa.
Yes, sir.
Good. It's a very good choice. I mean the number and also the I mean the quality of pictures.
Yes.
They were interesting. Good. Let's move next.
Thank you.
Yeah, listening and speaking. Now think of a film that you have seen recently and answer the questions. Can someone comment on the instruction? Think of a film that you have seen recently and answer the questions. Hafsa?
Yeah, the instructions are a little bit like confusing, and there is no mode of work. So how they're going to work in pairs, individually, or in groups, it's not mentioned.
No, but here, Hafsa, you are right, but here it's also important to mention the mode of work. You can just tell them to think of a film, but next you explain I want you to work in pairs. You see my point? This is next.
But there is no listening, just thinking.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
I think that this one goes more with writing, not listening and speaking, because they can write like a paragraph and they will respect all those questions to write in a paragraph, for instance.
Good. Yes, Najwa,
but I think she has mentioned another thing at the bottom, which is interview. Yeah, she has mentioned another thing, which is interview your partner. So they're gonna ask them some questions and they will listen to them while they speaking. So there's listening and speaking. There's a communication around there.
Yes.
As I think. I don't know.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think that if they did that as writing, they can integrate listening and speaking in it, but they would not be the major skills.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now here when we say listening and speaking, students are going to listen for something and then speak. You see my point? Maybe the teacher is going to talk about something and they listen, or maybe students are going to listen to something and then they are going to discuss. When they are discussing, they are listening at the same time. So I would like to know more about Najwa. Najwa,
yes.
for listening,
Yes.
what do you mean by, because here you said listening and speaking, which means number one, students will listen. Maybe listening serves speaking.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the second instruction, which in which I wrote, interview your partner about their film. Tell the class about your partner's film. So students will be invited to the board, and they will tell the class about their partner's film. Okay, and the whole class will listen. Will listen to the students that they will be speaking. So there is, as you said, listening serves speaking.
Yeah,
I mean, speaking serves.
Interesting. Okay. Now.
Yeah, but here the major scale is speaking only, I think.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
major
They're
scale
just going to communicate.
Good.
Yeah, it's speaking.
Exactly.
Now, my question. Look here. Think of a film that you have seen recently. You have seen what tense?
The past, the present perfect, and it's hard for beginners level.
Now let's move to questions. What was? What sort of the film was? Who directed? What was? Where was? What was? How would you describe? Would you recommend it? Why? What do you think about the instruction? Can you comment on it? Or if you were in the position of Najwa, what would you change? What would you add, etc.? Let's imagine, let's see that you are teaching beginners.
The level of the language is kind of hard and can be confusing for the students.
Yes. Others?
Not really.
too
Sir?
much questions. I think
Maryam?
4 or 5 are enough.
I think if I was teaching just beginners, I will just use tenses that they already know or that I taught them before.
Interesting.
But she said that the level is intermediate, so I think it's okay.
So it's okay. Good. Now we are thinking about teaching beginners, not intermediate.
So I think I will change the first instruction. Think of a film that I will remove that you have seen. Use just simple past.
Perfect. I was waiting for this one. Exactly. I was waiting for this one. Yes, Najwa.
Yes.
It's your instruction is really interesting. I like it, but I'm just trying to facilitate, because you as a teacher, you should facilitate all the time. Start with what students know. You see my point? Now,
Yes.
I'm teaching simple past because here the verbs, the sentences are all about the simple past. If I were in your position, I would say, think of a film that you saw last night or last weekend, because I'm sure that students would know the instruction because they already start the simple past. And the instructions here are about the simple past, because I'm not sure. And by the way, the present perfect is one of the most confusing tenses in English.
Yes, for students. Yeah.
For students. So let's say that you are teaching beginners. They get confused about this one. Have seen. Is it the present or the future or now or okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Your instruction is okay. Yeah. When you say is okay, is accepted. It's accepted.
Yes.
But we are all the time doing our best to help learners to know more, to facilitate their learning.
Yeah, facilitate.
You see my point? Good. Yeah, it's a very interesting activity. One of the advantages of this activity is that the teacher facilitated the learning process by giving them some tips. What was the name of the film? Very good. What sort of the film? Guiding them. Not just think about a film and write about or talk about it. All the time give tips. You see my point? That's interesting. Helping students. Let's move. Now the text, reading, we all have an idea about the text. Good. The questions, read the text and answer the following questions. So which of the following would be the best title for the passage? Circle the correct answer. 1, 2, or 3. What do you think about number 1? Exercise A. Everyone. Yeah, it's very interesting. You start from the easiest to the
challenging.
To the most difficult. You start with choices. Okay, as if you are teaching reading for just for the general idea. Okay, so that was a good choice, and the order of the task, was well planned.
Yes, thank you.
B, are these statements true or false? Justify. The instruction, very clear, very simple, short. Okay, are these true or false? Justify, which means they have two tasks, to write T or F and to justify. That was good. That was great. The reading task, perfect, well planned. Now, grammar, Najwa.
Yes.
Yeah, Najwa is teaching intermediate. What do you think about grammar, everyone?
This is not fair.
It's about beginners.
Beginners.
Good. Yeah, that's why, yes, please. We said that integrating skills, number 1, is time consuming. Number 2, a lot of effort. Number 3, the way you choose and select activities that suit students' levels. Please take this into account. Najwa's reading exercise was good. Najwa's listening and speaking was good. Najwa's vocabulary was somehow good. But the grammar, it's very, very easy for intermediate students to answer this one. You know why? Because they already learned about this one many times and they already used this structure many times. Okay,
Yeah.
so Najwa, my question.
Yeah.
If you have the chance to choose to change this lesson, what would you add or
Instead
change?
of articles.
What would you do? What would you add?
I would delete articles and I would teach reported speech maybe.
Reported speech. Good. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. For intermediate, yeah. Reported speech. Or simple pass if you are teaching beginners, but your level you said intermediate. So students, intermediate students already studied simple pass. That would
simple pass, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so grammar. Then you give them the articles.
The use.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Now writing. You saw a film. So now here you saw a film, and here there is think of you have seen.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to stick to the same structure, the same tense, the same
instructions.
Yeah. So you saw a film you liked very much in the cinema, on TV, etc. Okay. Here are some suggestions to help you. I really like this this way or this writing activity because you are opting for facilitating the learning process of your students, guiding, giving them tips. Okay, it's good. It's a very good idea to give them some suggestions to guide them about the title, the time, the place, the type, the people, okay, actors, the story, and the reaction. Good. Yes, Najwa. Yeah, it was a good lesson, integrating all the skills. There was just about a problem of selecting good activities that match the students' levels. Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, most welcome. Can someone comment? Any reflection?
Yes, as you said, her lesson is like amazing.
Sorry, Miriam, can you repeat again?
You can see that she I said that her lesson is like amazing. You can see that she planned it. There's a plan behind it. It's not like arbitrary or anything like that.
Yes, you are right. Yes, it's the lesson she designed is really very good because all the skills and aspects were integrated. There's just some little, problems. Yeah, but yeah, it is about
that I need to take into account. Yes.
Good. That's interesting. Thank you, Najwa. Bravo, Alex. دابا صافي نجوا وليتي professional teacher.
Good job, Najwa.
Good.
Thank
now,
you.
I'm gonna choose another one. Another one.
Just before this one, I would like just to.
Yes, Yusuf.
I just want to know for integrating skills.
Yes.
Can we use the stages of, for example, teaching writing skill? Can we go through all of the stages while we are integrating this skill within a lesson? For example, for writing, she directly gave them the instructions to write the text or the task. Can we go through the first stage? For example, like writing for a product or a model, something like this, before going to the practice stage.
Yeah, it's a good question. Can someone answer? Still have 10 minutes. Yeah.
I think.
So, Miriam.
I think that if we went through all the stages, for instance, as you said, in the writing skill, it wouldn't be a vocabulary emphasized lesson. It would be a writing one. So I think you should focus, there's one which is on the top, which is in the case of Najwa vocabulary, and then you can integrate skills to put more emphasis on the vocabulary, but not on the other skills that you are integrated in the major one.
Okay, interesting, good. Now here, your colleague said that when you are teaching writing, are we going just to use these tips, suggestions, and they start writing, or we have to respect the stages? Now you ask yourself a question. Yes, Yusuf, are you teaching writing as a main skill? As a main skill? If you are teaching writing as the major skill, then you go smoothly from one stage to another, but at the same time integrating. Because when you put students in groups to write, they are doing what? They are writing, they are listening to each other, and they are reading what they are writing. You see, all these things, they are embedded. You cannot write them on the lesson, but you just, when you are teaching, then you give instructions, then you go smoothly, you direct them, okay? You guide them from one stage to another. You see my point?
Yes,
now,
okay.
When I read your assignments, all of you, some of you, I give you the same text. Some of you use the text as a listening, as a listening skill, and the listening is the major skill. Some of you use the text as reading, and the reading is the major skill. Some of you use the text as writing, and so you see, everyone has got his own way of integrating skills. So all the time you ask yourself a question: what is the major skill I'm teaching in this session? Then I'm gonna integrate others. You see my point?
Yes, okay. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay, good. Now, let me choose another one. Then we move to the review about vocabulary and grammar. Another one, let me see. So this one, sorry. So let's see with the Miriam. Miriam Al-Az is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Very good.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you see the slides now?
Oh, no.
No one can see?
I only see the folder.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
That's folder. That's folder. Yeah.
So let me see. What about now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So TEFL course integrated skills assignment. That's good. Okay. So the lesson is about, yes, sir?
Dreams and achievements. Well, after reading the text, I tried to find something that would fit in the lesson. So I thought that dreams and achievement would be a good theme for the lesson.
Good. So can you please read these?
Read the. Okay. Use of a video to build interest and introduce the topic of the lesson. Vocabulary related to dreams and achievements. Reading about a success story, which is the text you gave us, a movie star biography. Presenting grammar in context. I chose past simple, just the irregular verbs. And listening and speaking. Here I chose to do an ask and answer question, important events in a biography based on the text. And finally, the writing is actually done in 2 steps. Writing a biography based on a timeline of important events in somebody's life.
Perfect. So we still have 5 minutes. Let me go quickly. By the way, we are going to continue again.
Yes.
So warm up, build interest, watch the following video. So what is the instruction? They are going to watch.
They're going to watch and then discuss in pairs. On the next slide, there are some questions. and they're going to discuss in pairs the contents of the video. I use this video to pave the way to my lesson. It's about dreams and achievements.
Yes. Now, what's the level?
Pre-intermediate.
Pre-intermediate. Cool. Okay, good.
I think
now,
it's logical.
Yes, for everyone, please. What do you think about the first choice? To build interest, she used a video.
Yes, very interesting.
Perfect.
It's
Yes.
a good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Because students are crazy about watching videos. Students are crazy about listening and singing. You see? So that's why you have to think about how to build interest. But please try to make sure if the videos, I mean, complexity matches students' levels.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, vocabulary, look at the following pictures. So there are 4 pictures. The questions are here. Now match the pictures.
Yeah, the next, to the phrases.
Help the poor and travel around the world and speak many languages. Good, so they have to match.
Yeah.
Pre-intermediate level.
Well, yes.
Be a famous movie star. Good. So what do you think about the pictures? Do they match the level of students and the vocabulary here? Be a famous movie star, help the poor, travel around the world, speak many languages. So do you think here we are talking about pre-intermediate level? What do you think?
I think it's for a high level for beginners. Much better.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
Intermediate, they will, yeah, we need to use more vocabularies, or it's not difficult, but kind of difficult vocabulary to learn, because they already know words like famous and need, travel.
Good.
It would be better to use other words for intermediate.
Hello, sir. So anyway, this is not teaching words. This is teaching new, new vocabulary, new sentences. That's the reason why I said this is more convenient for pre-intermediate level.
Okay. So yeah, it depends on your learners. We don't know, even though they are pre-intermediate, but we don't know their level exactly. Okay. Good.
But I guess she said that this is concerned pre-intermediate level, and most of the books I'm using pre-intermediate level, they are teaching phrases like this. Okay, this is conveniently,
Very good.
right.
Thanks, Mustafa. I'm behind schedule. We have only 1 minute. 1 minute. Reading. Biography, a success story. Before you read, answer the questions. What do you know about Angela? Good. This is pre-reading. Now check your answers. This is the text. Interesting.
Yes.
The questions again. Read, say true or false, and correct the false sentences. Now, I want you, please, any remark, any comment on this instruction. Read, say true or false, and correct the false sentences. We still have less than 20 seconds.
They're very confusing.
Somehow confusing, yeah?
It's confusing? Well, I thought it was like detailed and into steps. First you read, then you say whether it's true or false, and then you correct the false sentences.
Okay.
Or is it too complicated?
It's time.
Sure.
Time is up. Okay, we can change.
She may just add the.
Okay. Good. So we can say true or false. Correct the false sentences.
Yeah.
Miriam?